John.
How are you, Jody?
Good. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Good. So, what I'd like you to do is briefly share us a little bit of your story. And I'm going to ask you about 9 or 10 questions this morning. But let's start with who you are, who your mom is, how old you are, what your rank is. Let's get some of the good stuff in there first.
Well, I'm currently 24 years old. My mother, Susan Wheeler, she got me involved in this company. She is a six-figure earner. She kills it with the business. And currently, I am a 2-star crystal manager.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about, so she's been doing this 6 years. So, you take that back. You were still a teenager when she started.
Mhm.
Did you jump on board right away, or were you an Eric Coover where you were going to defy her and try some other things? Tell us a little bit about how you came to actually using the products.
So actually, I definitely was very defiant at first, and it wasn't even my choice to get involved. I remember we were on vacation in the Outer Banks, and Cindy brought this up to my mom, and she was a little reluctant at first too, because they had just gotten out of a company that they worked really hard, got to the top, and didn't make an income that they were deserving of. And so, my mom finally gave it a shot. She looked into it more and saw the vision of everything. And I remember clearly, she said to me, she's like, "I'm getting you involved, and one day you're going to thank me." And I had no idea what was really going on with it. I was just like, "Okay, mom, whatever you say." And at first, I didn't even use the products or anything. And about a year went by. I was 18 when I first got involved. And my friend approached me with a different company. And that is when I first saw the vision of network marketing. I looked at it, I saw the business plan, and I was just mind blown. I couldn't sleep at night. So we were working at that. I probably built that business for about 6 months. And then I just realized how much better of an opportunity we had over at Isogenics. So I started using the products more, putting them to my body, had a great transformation. And then from there, throughout college, just sharing it with friends, I was able to build the business and create this residual income that allowed me to graduate and not have to go get that cubicle job that everyone goes and settles in for. I was able to go travel the world and, just live life on my own terms.
So part of why I wanted to interview you that I love is that you started this in your college journey. And we actually have a number of young adults that are, anywhere from freshmen in college, just recently graduated college. And I think it's a little bit of a different animal. And now that I have a freshman in college, it's kind of interesting to watch his journey. So you kind of went from, I don't know that you were a hard skeptic, but you just didn't see the vision yet, but definitely turned into a believer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was more so I was just I was 18. I knew what was best for me. I knew everything. You know what I mean? I wasn't really even willing to take a look at it until my other friend approached me with it. So I was never really a skeptic. It was just that I was ignorant about it. I didn't look into it until my friend came up to me with a different business.
Okay, so talking to college kids, I'm curious, did a lot of them come in on a product or two, or did they come in on a whole system? And how did you deal with the cost? Because what I'm finding with Zach is a lot of parents are still supplying or funding them, whether it's the meal plan or funding for their outside expenses. We actually have Zach pay for his own expenses at this point. We're helping with room, board, and tuition so far. But that cost objection, I think, is completely a different animal for the younger generation as compared to somebody who's established, married, in their career already. So how did you deal, or what did that look like as a college student for you?
So kind of the way I looked at it and the way we built is doing events. And so what we tried to do is, I'd be lying if I said that the cost objection isn't a bigger issue in college, because obviously it is. But the way I look at it is people go out, they drink 4 or 5 times a week. They're buying beer, they're buying fast food, all this stuff that's terrible for you. And I just tried to show them, if you take that money, instead of just wasting on alcohol and terrible food, put it towards this, you're getting good nutrition in your body, and you have the opportunity to share it and make your money back. So how we went about that is doing meetings, events, and we would speak at them. And that's how I'd break it down. I'd be like, look, and seriously, for a 30-day system, I don't think $300 is a ton of money to come up with. I think that's very reasonable, especially when you factor in all these just unnecessary things people are buying. So, but when you take that and then show people, you share it with 2 people, your products are basically paid for, then that's kind of where people see it and they're more willing to, make that initial investment because they know that they can make the money back if they want to.
Okay, so Zach, when you watch this, I did not pay him or prompt him on that answer because I jokingly say that to Zach. If people can afford beer, they can afford a $3 shake. Now, I'm curious because I'm kind of guessing, it's been a while since I've been in college, but I'm guessing a lot of kids live on crappy energy drinks in college. That I'm thinking between e-shots, I believe in the synergy of the system, obviously, but
Right.
e-shots alone could, I would think, build your business in college because, whether it's you're staying up late for a paper or you've procrastinated or you're doing this huge project, I mean, our e-shots blow away anything on the market. Did you guys amp up the e-shots? Like, was that a
Definitely.
factor?
I would say, especially, I was in a fraternity in college, and it was a fraternity of a lot of people that were either on sports teams or very athletic. So the main pack I started people with was the 30-day performance system, which that's
Okay.
involved. So that was like the main one that we kind of rolled with because everyone was using that. That was another thing too. All my friends were using a protein or some type of supplement. So it's just like, why would you do that? And it's most of them aren't nearly as good as ours
Right.
are.
Art is clean.
Exactly. It's like, why would you do that when you could just buy it through yourself, make money from buying it from yourself, and share it with other people and make money from it. So those were the key. The performance sign were the key products for us.
And how long did it take them to see that money reallocation for them to physically see in their checkbook or your bank account that you were actually saving money or making money from the time they started to when they started saving money or making money? Was that a pretty quick turnaround?
I mean, I guess it varies with everyone because there'd be some people that you'd be like, look, bring 2 people to our next event and you'll get your products paid for. And they would do it and then they'd get their money back almost right away because they'd get their bonus for rank advancing, their PIBs, double PIBs. And then, I mean, other people, of course, too, would, wait longer or wouldn't bring people. But if someone wants it and you just bring a couple people to an event or bring people to get it presented to you, then it's a no-brainer. And for
Right.
those people, I mean, it could be a matter of days before they actually got that bonus back.
Well, and just like we say, we can't guarantee any physical results or financial results, even, no matter how old your age is. I was just curious if their light bulb kind of turned on quicker.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So,
it's just, it varies. It's all about what you put into it,
right.
that.
Right. And I love that you focus on events because we always talk about how events are such a critical piece. Are you now marketing it the same now that you're out of college or you're doing something different?
I mean, I think everyone finds their niche with company like a company like this of what they want to do specifically. We definitely still do events. We have a monthly one at home. I mean, I'm certified for personal training, so a lot of times I'll just offer people a free workout session, and then I'll go work out with them and just talk to them because nutrition is it probably comes down to 70% of a transformation. It comes down to nutrition, and most people don't understand that. They think they can just go to the gym and just work as hard as possible, and nothing happens. So that's like a little thing that I use. I like to use the fact that I'm a personal trainer to help people with a workout and then be like, look, if you really want to make a transformation, you should try this. I've been on it for 6 years and this is what works. So events definitely still, nothing will beat events and in-person things, but everyone finds their way that it works for them and
Right.
ways to meet new people.
Yeah. I love that saying, you can never outrun your fork, because that's
Yeah.
true.
It's very,
Okay. So, and I know like I'm big on Facebook. I'm play a little bit around on Instagram, and then I also use LinkedIn. But you younger kids, what is your mode and how many different social medias do you use?
I'm probably the most active on Facebook and Instagram. I use Snapchat a lot as well, but for this, it's actually different. So I feel like my Facebook targets the older generation now, and that's how that works for me. And then that's where all the younger people are. So I focus on those 2 social medias. I like Snapchat because I just like it's real. It shows like just a little glimpse into your lifestyle and what you're doing, what you're up to because you don't want to be just selling all the time. No one wants to see just like sell, sell, sell. They want to see what you're doing. And I feel like I do some pretty cool things in life, and it attracts people. They see me traveling, they see me in the gym all the time, eating healthy, whatever. And I'm not just posting like isogenics. You know what I mean? It's just showing them what I'm about, and people are attracted to that, the realness of that, and they want to be part of it.
Yeah, I have to say I was a little envious that you were living in Italy because we went to Italy 4 years ago for 2 weeks. That would just be amazing that you lived in Italy for a while.
Yeah, it was awesome. But people see that. Like, I run into people I haven't seen in years. Like, dude, you're living in Italy, California. Like, what are you doing? I want to do whatever you're doing. I don't care what it is. and then I'll show them, and a lot of times they'll want to hop on board.
So out of curiosity, what was your degree in? Because you do have a 4-year college degree. Like, what was your degree in, and does it relate at all to isogenics?
0%. I got a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and a minor in Economics. I guess the economics, like, this is a business, but it's not an overcomplicated business. You don't need to know how to solve the economy in order to get some shakes in some people's hands, you know?
Right. Okay, so I think most people, hopefully, our whole team knows the vision of Isogenics, that we want to be the largest health and wellness company and create the healthiest people in the world physically and financially. But I also know that the Start Group has their own vision. So do you want to kind of explain the Start Group's vision and how you see that, like, pairing with Isogenics' total vision?
Yeah, I mean, there's the quote. I don't want to say it because I think I'll butcher it, but it basically, what it comes down to is just the Start Group's vision is what I said before. Like, for me, throughout college, I didn't want to graduate and go work in an office the rest of my life, working for someone else. It's all about just young people taking control of their own life and doing what they want, living life on their own terms. And I mean, this is just a great opportunity. Any person can get involved with this. And if they have above average aspirations, they can take this and build a business with it and be able to just do what they want. I mean, like we were just talking about, I mean, I was able to live in Italy for a year. I moved to California for a year. I'm back in Connecticut now because I'm focusing back on my business way more, but I'm able to just do whatever I really want and make my own hours. And that's what the Start thing is all about. It's just all about people escaping that rat race and just getting involved in something they don't want to be a part of.
Right. Time freedom.
Exactly. The time freedom is huge.
Okay, so knowing you're speaking into my team, what would be your top 3 tips that you would give? And really, this could be Start Group or anybody, but like, you've had such great success. And what I love is that you weren't a Tracy O'Malley. It didn't happen overnight in, 18 months to become a millionaire. You have done your college, you've done some traveling, you're a steady Eddie growth, but you're building massively. So what would your top 3 tips be?
I would say the number one, like you said, I've been a part of this for 6 years. I feel like the only way to fail at network marketing is to quit. If you stick with it, I mean, we have a great product, so there's no reason not to, but if you stick with it, you're not going to fail. The only way you're going to fail is if you physically go in and just turn it off. Another one is that it's not like you need to reinvent the wheel with everything. It really is just talking to people. The more conversations you have, the bigger your business is going to be, and more conversations with intent. You want to talk to people and, you want them to take a look at what we have. You're not trying to sell everyone. We're simply just showing them, you're sharing our opportunity. And if they like it, they'll join. If not, if it's not the right time, then that's fine. Not everyone's going to join right away, but you never know down the road. I lived with my roommate for 2 years doing this, making money, having a great transformation, and he didn't join me until literally 2 years after. And so you never know when it's going to be the right time for somebody. So it's really just about having those exposures, those conversations. And then I think the best way to build, I think for my 3rd tip, I would say, you want to get started, you see this vision, have events, just get people in a room. That's where the excitement is. There's social proof. And that's where it happens for you. And that's where the duplication will happen. And that's how you can take off running.
Okay. So let's flip it the other direction. If you could go back in time and do something different, what would you do differently?
In my business,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have done the first company because
Okay.
that's when I saw the vision, and that's what I did. I talked to everyone I knew, did these events, and a lot of people were way more skeptical because this company did not have the same integrity that Isogenics does. It was more about like, oh, you can drive these cars, you can have this money, like you drop out of school, all that stuff, which is just not how you should build a business like this. I do really I'm grateful that that's where I got the vision from, but I think that if I hadn't done that, then my network originally for Isogenics would be stronger.
Yeah, because you probably, I don't want to say burn some bridges, but you had already talked to probably your closest friends already with the first company. So then they're like, oh, here goes John again with another company. So then it's almost a rebuilding of trust at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So I talked to everyone because that's when you get started. It's ignorance on fire that we always talk about. Like, that's the most important thing. You don't need to really even know anything other than like just being excited. People will want to be around your excitement. So that's how I did it. And then when I decided that I wanted to be with Isogenics, I'll be honest, it took me a couple years to get back into it because I was just like, everyone was just like, oh, like you said, here we go. Like, what's it now? You know what I mean? And it took me a while to build up that confidence again and know that I'm right. Like that my beliefs about this are correct and I'm going to be able to build something with this. So that was definitely a huge setback for me, but definitely over it now because
you keep moving.
Exactly. You have to.
Okay. And my other question was how important are events, but we've obviously talked about that. So you had commented that you and Tyler Walter would, not have a problem linking arms with all of our young kids because, like you said, we're old. We do it a different way. We're probably boring compared to you guys. That how would any of our younger generation get a hold of you? Like, what would be the preferred mode for them to be like, hey, how do I do this? Or I have a stumbling block. Or what exactly are you using for verbiage for Instagram versus Facebook? Or just bouncing ideas off of you. How would you want them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I think the best way, just add me on Facebook and send me a message. I think even the younger people, most of us have Facebook, even if we're not too active on it. So that or Instagram. My name is just John Stankiewicz on Instagram and same on Facebook. So if you want to like tag me or whatever in the comments so people can reach out. But I just want to add too, I think that's a really cool thing about it. Like Tyler and I aren't financially linked. I'm not financially linked with Jody's team, but that's what's so cool about this. Like everyone is it's such a cool community where everyone's just helping each other and wants the best for everybody. So, it's not about all the financial benefits. It's just about helping people, which I think is really awesome.
Are you going to Celebration?
Absolutely.
Are you coming out to Chicago for ICU?
When's that one?
September. It's the very end of September. I think it's the last weekend of September.
So I just got that honorable mention for Isobody, and I got a free. I'm going to the one in Philly in a couple weekends, so I get free tickets to all the major events for the year. So maybe I'll use it for the Chicago one.
Yeah, I think it's the 27th, 28th, 29th of September. I know it's the last weekend. I just don't remember which day it starts out at.
I've never been to Chicago, so maybe I'll use this as the opportunity to come.
Yeah, and it's a much nicer time of year in September. Much warmer, much prettier. So that would be great because I would love for more of our team to meet you. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Let's lock it in.
Okay, awesome. And you can always stay here. We have guest bedrooms, so if you want, somewhere free to stay,
you're always welcome. Here.
Randy's got to take me on a plane ride if I come by.
He'd have to get checked out again. Years. Or he'll take you for a ride in his new vet.
All right, that's fine. I'll settle for that.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I have one more question if you're all done.
Sure.
And if you don't mind sharing this, because it is very personal, and put the disclaimer in there about income, that everybody's is different, depends on how hard you work, and they can't guarantee you any particular income. But would you mind sharing your latest paycheck?
My paycheck for last week was a little over $1,700.
And is that, I'll kind of clarify that. Is that normal or is that it's kind of an average?
Is that number? Your weekly paycheck?
I would say my average has been around like $1,000 a week. Okay. Right now, this one, I got some bonuses involved in it, but probably around $1,000 is fair to say is my average per week right now. And cumulatively, I'm well into the six figures from earnings from this business.
And what's your biggest paycheck been?
My biggest one was, I believe it was in the 1900s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
And for those of you who are, listening and tuning in, that's per week. That's not per month. That's per week. So that's a really great start, especially for you young kids. I mean, holy cow.
And how long have you been doing this?
6 years.
6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom and adding some inspiration onto our team. That I can't wait to see you. We're hoping to get some more of our team total, but even some of the younger generation to Nashville, especially since Nashville's such a fun city.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll look forward to seeing you there. And then if you're going to come out here for ICU, that'll be great because that'll just be a month and a half later then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yay.
Awesome.
It's good seeing you, John.
Cool. Yeah, great talking with you guys. I'm happy I could help.
Yeah, thanks. And say hi to your mom and have a great afternoon then.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.